Hello, troopers, and welcome to the 501st Com Chat. I am Chloe.
Well, how are we doing, guys? Nice to see you again. Hope you join us for another fun episode this week.
Well, there's been two this week, but that was
Yes.
because Will was away last week.
Yes.
So this is the second episode for this week. But next week it should be back to normal, so
Yes.
we'll be back on the Thursday next week. But today we thought we'd talk about something we've not really discussed before. Star Wars food and drink.
That's
Now,
the first.
You know, all these characters, they gotta eat too. So I think, in Star Wars Outlaws, there's been a lot of new meals to the galaxy, but we've not included those today just because we think we could do a separate episode purely on Star Wars Outlaws dishes because there's so many of them. But today we've stuck with dishes from some of the TV shows, the films. Some of them are in books as well. But all the ones that we have, we've got pictures of from either a TV show or a film. So I'm sure you guys will be familiar with a lot of these. But yeah.
Did you want me to quickly mention the names of the four meals in Outlaws?
In Outlaws, you can do.
So we have Sketo Chuga, Corrado Fruit Platter, Duradan Soup, and Che Mossack, or Mosk. So, Mosca. Che Mosca.
Maybe we can do a separate episode
Yes.
on all the stuff.
And it's a whole experience if you're playing Outlaws and eating these little meals with Nick's.
Yes,
But
it
yeah.
is very cool. But yeah, I think we'll probably do a separate episode on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Outlaws, though, someone noted or pointed this out to me a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot to show it. So you might remember Temin Waxley from the sequel films. Here he is. I didn't realise he's actually in Outlaws. And I will admit, when I met this character in the game, I was like, "Ooh, Temin. I know that name. Why do I know the name Temin?" And yeah, it turns out a character from the game is a character from the sequels that you bump into. He's a lot younger in this, but I will say there is something that they have kept from like the comics or something he was introduced in. So I don't know if you guys remember, but I was talking a little while back on one of our episodes about Mr. Bones.
Oh yeah.
The
droid.
The like red B1 murder bot that Temin creates.
Oh.
So he has a little workshop, right? And on Akira, and his basement leads into an old separatist droid factory. So they've sort of kept that from the comics, brought that into the game, and there is, even in his basement on a table, there's like a B1 that he seems to be like working on.
That's
I
cool.
wonder if that is Mr. Bones or what would become Mr. Bones, but still quite cool.
Very cool. And it's nice how they've sort of brought a bit of the sequels into it as well, because it sort of joins all the story together.
Well, I will admit myself, I missed it completely. Like I said, I recognised the name Temin, but I didn't know where I recognised it from. But then, now that I've remembered Temin Waxley from the sequels, that's very cool little detail, isn't it?
Yeah. I think a lot of people probably would have missed it unless you're like hardcore, you know everyone's name sort of thing. And you know, we
I mean, I wasn't expecting it. It wasn't like I was on the lookout for.
No.
You know, I was already looking out for like Lando, Vader, bloody Boba Fett.
Mm.
So I think you can excuse me that I missed Temin Waxley. Anyway, we only have one Funko reveal. Very disappointing with this, actually. Not the Funko itself, because the Funko is not too bad, but it's the New York Comic Con exclusive reveals. And there's only one Star Wars one, and I find that quite disappointing. So we have Kylo Ren. Sorry, he is a New York Comic Con exclusive. I mean, looks quite cool. Seeing the helmet like hooded.
I really like this one.
Lightsaber pose with it though.
No.
I think it's a bit like he's like holding it, almost like like that, and I was like, bit of a weird stance. I mean, I think if you were going to have a Kylo with the mask and hood up, I almost would have liked to have seen him with like the lightsaber in one hand, and then his hand like force freezing. Like how he does Poe when we see him in the Force Awakens, he says like,
yeah.
I think that would have been a better pick.
Yeah.
But
still, I really like this Funko, but it is sad that it is a Comic Con exclusive, because this means that it's going to be probably quite hard to get hold of.
Well, they say that, but obviously, we had the San Diego Comic Con the other day with like the Thrawn and the Vader and that. And, you could buy the Vader, but obviously I think they are quite limited.
Yeah.
All of them. But again, I'm not disappointed with the Funko. I'm disappointed with there's only one Star Wars Funko announced.
Yeah, usually there's at least a couple.
Yeah, I know that they announce them randomly over the next whatever, but yeah, that's just my opinion. But that does remind me though, for rumored upcoming reveal for next year, Lego, the new UCS set. It's heavily rumored that we're getting a lot of Django next year. So apparently the UCS set next year, like in March, like the first one, is Slave 1, but it's Django's Slave 1. So it's going to be like the blue one that we see in Attack the Clones. Apparently the figure is going to have like arm printing and leg printing. So it's going to be like an updated version of the figure. And apparently it's also going to come with an updated young Boba as well. So I think that's quite a cool set, and I think a lot of people will be wanting that.
Yeah.
There's also rumored Django's helmet is also going to be the Lego, being made in Lego, like the Lego helmets. So yeah,
well, that would be cool, because I keep hearing that they're going to discontinue the helmet series, which is sad, but...
Well, there's so many lines in Star Wars Lego, so they'll never stop the UCS sets, because that's their biggest earner, really, isn't it? They've just sort of got a bit of an interest with the small scale ships. So like our Invisible Hands Super Star Destroyer. I think they want to move more with those than the helmets. That's why they're doing like an Acclimator in January next year. But yeah, obviously I feel like they have to let go somewhere. And it is quite sad, but at least we got like a Rex before they did sort of discontinue it. But if they're doing a Django, yes, you do have a Django. You have a Vader. Sorry, I think. But if they are doing a Django's, that might be hope that they're going to do more. So I think it's going to be very similar to the Mandalorian one, just sort of silver and blue.
I think also it might have something to do with, because obviously they're remastering the Bounty Hunter game. I think that's coming out next year. So it might have something to do with that, because obviously they did some Fallen Order.
No, I think it's already out.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's out.
I missed that.
Let me have a little
Well,
check.
I do have the PlayStation 2 version of it, though. So I'm not missing out entirely.
Yes, I believe it is out.
Oh, well, I completely missed that.
Well,
But
it's okay.
I mean, other than that, there's not really been any other reveals. I know Hot Toys, they've been posting, it's called a Death Trooper. It's like the black sort of scrambled voice ones, but the zombie version from Ahsoka. But I'm sure we've shown that on the episode, so I don't think that's new. So I don't really know why they're sharing it on their socials, unless it's like it was like a pre-order thing before and now it's been released.
Reckon now, yeah, it might be a case of because they're doing a Palpatine one as well from Revenge of the Sith, I believe it is. So it's like the bit with Yoda, and I'm pretty sure we've shown this one. So again, I think it's a case of
before it was like a pre-order,
yes,
but now it was
actual release.
But yeah, it does look really good though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Other than that, there's not really been any new releases.
Well, I mean, there has been only a couple of days.
I think, yeah, true. There was a lot of announcements last week though, because there was the Hasbro event. So
yeah,
if you want to check out those, and we did talk about those on Monday's episode. But yeah.
Just one more thing before we get into today's episode.
Mm-hmm.
The wonderful Chloe here has been busy. And she has started the process
of making sabak.
So again, this is Kessel sabak from the game Outlaws. So we have all the different like cards here. So we have like imposter cards,
the Psynops,
1,
and then 1 to 6.
But yeah,
but they have all the little like symbols on them.
Yes.
But yeah. And I made all of these on Microsoft Paint, believe it or not.
She has done an incredible job at making this little set. We very much are looking forward to playing it.
Yes, we have to try this out and let you know.
We will, if it goes well, we will maybe do some live ones on our Instagram live or TikTok live. So if you're interested, let us know. You can come play Sabak. But yes, very cool.
Yes.
And I can't wait to get into playing Sabak properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it for that. So we get on with today's episode.
Yeah.
Which you're looking forward to, if I remember right.
Yes.
So we are going to be talking about the
food and drink in Star Wars. So I'm going to start with this one. They're not in any particular order, by the way. It's just random. I kind of started with fruit because there's a lot of fruit in Star Wars. But from then on, it is just random.
And if there is any that we missed as well.
There is hundreds that we've missed.
Or let us know, and we will maybe try and do like an episode 2 or something.
There is so much food and drink in Star Wars. I literally could have gone on all day, talking about all these things. But I was like, do you know what? We can do a massive chunk today, and then maybe we can have like a part 2 for a future episode with more food and drink in Star Wars. Because, I mean, as you know, there is a lot to Star Wars. There's not just films or TV shows. There's novels. There's games. Star Wars Outlaws, for example. Like, there's so much. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to start here. So this purple fruit is called a Jogan fruit. So it's purple in color with white lines and leaves. They can be eaten raw or cooked in a cake or pie. So there's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. Kind of like Christmas cake, how it has like bits of fruit and raisins and stuff. So they can make like a cake out of this fruit. And kind of like an apple pie or like a cherry pie kind of thing out of this fruit as well. So quite versatile fruit, really.
Clearly.
But to
I
me, it
had
looks.
no idea about any of them.
To me, it looks kind of like a pomegranate from the outside, and then I don't actually know what it looks like from the inside. But
we see it in Rebels.
yes, they're in.
I think this is episode 1 as well.
Yeah,
of
it's
Rebels.
very early on.
Like one of the first scenes where Ezra deliberately like sort of bumps into this bloke, helps him pick him up, but then like takes one for himself or something.
Yes. But they're not just from Rebels. You can see them in the Clone Wars, the High Republic, the Queen's Peril books, Dark Disciple, and Solo: Star Wars Story. So they're in a lot of different things. I mean, I'm not gonna go through like each individual episodes and stuff that they're in.
You can see it in this episode and this scene.
I mean, some of them it's probably just something that's mentioned or something in the background.
I think I know where they're from in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously I know you don't know.
They do look slightly.
I'm gonna have a guess. Is it in the episode where Padme is hosting like a dinner party, and she sends C-3PO and R2-D2 to pick up some fruit?
Probably, yeah.
Because
I think
the senator right. or the person that she's hosting the party for loves this particular thing.
I think it might be.
So then, but it's like ends up being like Cad Bane like kidnaps them for information or something. But they are trying to get those fruit. I reckon it's from that episode.
It must be. I really need to like go back through and watch Clone Wars again, because I feel like there's so many episodes that I've forgotten about. And
that sounds like
so many little details.
Wonderful excuse to me.
So maybe we'll start that again. But they grow on Jogan trees, so that's why they're called Jogan fruit.
Makes sense.
They were seen in Coruscant, but also there was an orchard on Lothal that grew those trees.
Oh.
So that's why they're Rebels, because they're in Lothal and they can grow them there. Whereas not all fruits can be grown on every planet, so.
True.
Yeah. But that's all the information about those.
But yeah, no, I think it is that episode, because now that you mentioned Coruscant as well, it's like it reminds because they came in like a tube as well.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
There you go. See, I'm glad I remembered.
Yeah. No, because I remember trying to get a picture, and there was a picture of someone in the tube. But I thought that picture of Ezra was a bit more fun. So, so this next one is another picture of Ezra. Is the Miloran fruit. So this one to me looks like a mango that has little spikes on it.
It's a good way to describe it.
So it's a melon type fruit though, but it looks a little bit smaller than a melon. It's orange and yellow, but there is also a purple variant of it. So yeah.
Another purple variant.
I know. Apparently these Miloran fruit were Harrison Dula's favorite snack. So that's something I learned today, because I didn't know what Hera eats, but apparently she loves these.
I think I remember there was a mission in Rebels where she like Ezra and Zeb were like annoying her, so she was like, "Go do her like a Miloran and get some Milorans or whatever."
Yeah. So these fruit aren't grown on Lothal, so it makes it rare there. So this kind of makes sense how they didn't want Ezra like stealing the fruit and stuff, because they're seen as rare, because only certain types of fruit will grow in that climate there. They are sold on Tatooine and Lothal, from what we know. There might be other planets that they might sell them on, but we also see that. So this is obviously from Rebels. They're seen in the book of Boba Fett, which do you remember the like Twi'lek guy, and he got in that like speeder car, and
Yes.
he ended up crashing into someone's fruit stall, and then all these melons were in his like speeder car. So that was his fruit. And I completely forgot about that until today. And then I was like, oh my god,
I can't remember his name, but he was the like ambassador for the like mayor, and he was a real annoying bugger.
And he gave Boba Fett that like thing to write a treaty, and he was like, my offer is this, nothing. But yeah, so they were in the book of Boba Fett. They're in Andor, The Mandalorian, The Bad Batch, and the Queen's Hope novel. So a lot of things.
A lot of these fruits and foods getting about.
There's a scene with you know the nurse droid, when Grogu's like in his chest piece and he sort of like holds the fruit up to Grogu. So I think that's that from Mandalorian. So yeah, these seem to be quite commonly liked, I think, these Milo Run fruit. So I'm just gonna go to the next one. So these are a few sort of honorable mentions. They don't have like specific names of what fruit they are, but I mean they're just regular fruit from, you know, apples, pears, star fruit, pineapples, that sort of thing. But you know, they're in the Star Wars universe, so they probably have a different name there, but you know, it's not been sort of explained into. So I'm just going to give them a sort of honorable mention. So in The Phantom Menace, in Shmi Skywalker's home, she sort of cooks them some food. We don't actually know what it is, but she has a fruit bowl on the table. Oh, we're losing our light here. She has a fruit bowl on the table, and Jar Jar Binks sort of keeps sticking his tongue out to grab a piece of fruit, and then Qui-Gon Jinn grabs his tongue and he's like, don't do that again. So yeah, I just thought I'd give that a little mention for that little scene.
I remember that, yeah. I remember that scene.
Yeah. Next one.
I just realised as well in this scene, Anakin brings his future wife home to meet his mother.
Yeah.
When he was like 9.
Well, that's true actually.
That's quite funny. You don't think? I just thought about it.
That's kind of good though, because obviously Shmi died, but she at least got to meet Padme before she died.
But she didn't know what Padme was like. Yeah. And she didn't know that Anakin got with Padme. But I thought I just realised that. Anakin took his future wife home to meet her.
Oh, bless. So this one is from Attack of the Clones.
This is a pair.
Yes. So obviously when Padme and Anakin go to Naboo, they sit down and have a little meal. Anakin uses the Force to take her pear type fruit to help cut it for her, and then he like floats it back to her.
Can I just say, I know you're talking about the pear there, but I've never noticed the cup before. And how weird it looks. Like, it's kind of it's like a bowl on top of like a flask almost. Do you know what I mean? Like the shape. So is like all like that liquid
glass, but with like the thickest, sort of like a martini glass with like a pint glass
base
sort of handle to it.
So like, is just the bowl to drink, or is it like, does it go down? I've never noticed that before. I'm just looking at it like, that is so weird.
I don't know. I've never noticed either. Yeah. So we can see on this plate, she obviously has her pear there, but then on the other plate, looks kind of like
pineapple.
Yeah, I mean that's a pineapple. There looks like a little avocado there, maybe a tomato. and a star fruit, and then that other one is like stripy. So I don't know if that's meant to be a Jogan fruit, the like purpley one with the
Yeah.
stripes.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Because I think you're right, it's Padme.
Yeah.
So it could be.
So yeah.
But yeah.
I think her plate looks a bit weird as well, like the little legs on it. I've never noticed these things before until I'm looking at this picture.
I mean, it is like a raised plate.
Mm.
So,
Very
I mean,
fancy.
knowing me, I'd be like,
Some Naboo. So this last little honourable mention with fruit. So this is in The Force Awakens. Maz Kanata gives Rey a fruit bowl. It looks like a mix of apples, avocados, random little lemons. I don't know. And then that other fruit looks like the Maloran fruit from Rebels. Yeah. And I think what she's eating there must be like an apple or a pomegranate. It looks like it's got like mushy peas on the top.
I'd say some sort of like pomegranate, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, there's another little honourable mention of just a fruit bowl and
She is staring at that fruit bowl, mate.
Yeah.
She is hungry.
She's very hungry. So next one. So this one is Jawa juice. Yes. So you'll know this one from Attack of the Clones when Obi-Wan Kenobi goes into Dex's diner, sees his old friend Dex. These cups actually look quite fancy as well. I quite like them.
We'll put it on the list.
So Jawa juice has no relation to Jawas other than it originated on Tatooine. Its real name is known as Ardes. So it's like Ardes juice. Apparently it was like an assistant on set was called something Ardes and they named it after him, but then in the final cut they changed it to like, want a cup of Jawa juice instead of, you want a cup of Ardes juice, because it sounded better.
I will admit, when I first heard this back in Star Wars,
yeah,
I assumed it was like made up of Jawa.
Yeah, it's not, but it is a bit grim. So it's made from bantha hides mashed with fermented grains. So I mean, we all know banthas and they create blue milk, but which we'll talk about in a minute. But I don't know, I don't think I'd want to drink this. But apparently it has a sharp, bitter taste. And yeah, apparently it's quite common. And I believe it is an alcoholic beverage in the Star Wars universe.
I had a feeling it was going that way with the way you described how it's made.
I mean, I guess the grains would be kind of like yeast.
Yeah.
Kind of like how they make beer. But yeah.
So Obi-Wan's gone to Dex's diner for a beer with his mate.
Yeah, pretty much. He's gone for a pint at the pub. So these are seen in Attack of the Clones, a Dr. Aphra book, which I was surprised. It was in the High Republic Tears of the Nameless novel, Poe Dameron Freefall novel, Brotherhood, which is a novel as well, and
that's
obviously
the Anakin and Obi-Wan novel, isn't it?
Yes, and obviously Lego Star Wars as well. But Lego Star Wars isn't canon, but what just mentioned. You know, for all you people that love Lego Star Wars, a lot of these drinks will be in Lego Star Wars. You know, especially blue milk, fan favourites. So that's it about that one. But
that's quite interesting.
I don't think I'd want to drink it.
No, I wouldn't. You know how like people go to like when you go to like the Hogwarts tour and you can buy a butterbeer.
Oh my god!
Could you imagine going Galaxy's Edge and
getting Jawa juice?
Jawa juice.
Yeah. But when I first watched Attack of the Clones, I thought she was saying Jamba juice, and I was thinking, oh, it must be like some really nice fruit juice that she got going on. But no,
It's a Jawa juice.
Jawa juice, and I was like, is it made from Jawas? Like,
Well, you
what
thought
is
the same
this?
as me. I thought that.
But no, after googling it, it is not made of Jawas. It's made from Banthas. And
I think they should have a beer at
Beer.
Galaxy's Edge and call it a Jawa juice.
they probably do. I would be surprised if they didn't.
Because
they
it makes sense.
They have so many drinks from Star Wars. You know, they got green milk, they got blue milk.
Yeah.
They got all these like alcoholic.
I do want to try
beverages.
blue milk because I know you can buy it because we shared the bloody packet of it. I want to try some blue milk. Next one.
Next. Speaking of blue milk, here we go. Also, by the way, I read a thing earlier to say about what Mark Hamill thought of blue milk when he tried it. And apparently, it was disgusting, and he wanted to vomit. But he was like, "Do you know what? I drank it on set. You know, I was acting, and I was trying to make it look like I enjoyed it." And he's like, afterwards, I'll just, you know, take a minute, rinse it down. So yeah, apparently this wasn't very nice, and I think they just mixed whatever sort of milk they could find with some like blue food coloring, to make it look Star Warsy. So in the Star Wars universe, this is blue milk, and it's also known as Bantha milk.
Can I just? I've just noticed in this picture that Uncle Owen's looking very happy with his blue milk. Oh dear. That's probably what Mark Hamill was thinking when he said, "Oh, not this again."
I don't like that. Oh well. It's fine, you get the gist, you get the picture. So in Star Wars, this blue milk is known as Bantha milk, and it's produced by female Banthas. It's also used in various recipes, which is interesting. So you can make Bantha butter. So I'm guessing it's like a blue butter you put on your toast or whatever.
Oh, can you imagine that toast?
I know. It would look gone off, wouldn't it? I don't know about that. You can make blue Bantha buttermilk biscuits, which those sound divine.
What was it? Blue buttermilk?
Blue Bantha buttermilk biscuits.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Try saying that after a few Jawa juices.
So if you imagine like a cookie, but it's just blue. I imagine it tastes kind of like a little shortbread cookie, which would be nice. But it would just be blue, which is a bit.
I'm sure you could make that.
A bit nice, but yeah, it's fine. You can make blue milk custard, ice cream, which I'll be down for a blue ice cream anytime.
Right, okay. Now I'm a little bit interested a bit.
And yogurt. Blue yogurt, I don't know about that. I mean, maybe if they put some like blueberries in it, it tastes a bit better, but I don't know. But
I can't imagine Muller Rice going with that one.
Yeah, Muller corner with some blue milk yogurt. So apparently this blue milk is available on Tatooine, Batu, Lothal, and Lamu.
Where? Lamu.
Lamu. So it's outer rim sort of territories where they have banthas, because this is a milk from a bantha. So it's like having a cow. Like anywhere you'd have a cow, then you can milk it, and then you can have milk in that place. You know. The blue milk is seen in A New Hope, Attack of the Clones, Rebels, Andor, Rogue One, The High Republic, and many others. There's so much. There's so many books, so much that I could have put down for that, so I just put and many others because.
And you can get it.
I knew if I said everything, I'd end up missing something.
Yep.
And yeah, you can also get this at Galaxy's Edge. Apparently, both the green milk and the blue milk are dairy free, so they make it with like coconut milk, and then they add certain other bits to it. I don't know the full recipe, but apparently they are really good. So we're definitely trying that when we go to Galaxy's Edge.
I don't know. I'll think about that.
I mean, I like coconut milk, so I would definitely try it.
I don't like it, but it's okay.
So we try. Next one. So this is another original. This is Leia's snack. Now, I think this is like a little cracker. So it's in Return of the Jedi. After Leia's speeder accident, the Ewok Wicket is nervous about this intruder on his home planet. But Leia shares her snack with Wicket to let him know that she's nice, and it appears to be a sort of cracker or biscuit. So it's something that's.
I always, when I saw the clip, I always was trying to see like what are you eating? And
I think it's just
I
like
feel like when you look at it, I don't know how long these things have been around, but you know, like rice cakes. I feel like it looks a bit like a rice cake.
Yeah.
But
I mean, those are sort of in the cracker section in like your local Asda.
I think it's like a rice cake, so like something similar, because I don't know why, but when you see like the texture,
yeah, it's a bit
like,
crispy, flaky, yeah. So very much could be a rice cake.
And Wicket loves it. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things as well. Like if you're carrying food, and say you're in the Star Wars universe, you encounter an animal that doesn't like you or whatever, it can be used as a distraction as well. Just throw him a little biscuit. He'll either like you, or you can throw it to him and run. So there you go. Little life hack.
Life hack. Star Wars. Carry rice cakes with you, because you never know when you're going to come across a fuzzy little bear.
Little Care Bear.
Can I give a little mention as well to another food?
Yeah.
With the Ewoks. Humans.
Oh god.
They were going to cook Han and everyone.
Also, I wasn't going to say this because it's Legends, but there is like an animated Ewok series. I believe you can watch it on Disney Plus. But there's a bit where they cook like a cookie. So I think they like a sort of biscuit kind of texture food. So maybe that's just what they eat. But yeah. Imagine if you threw it down and the animal didn't like it though. A bit of a waste.
Waste me bloody biscuit.
That's all I had. One little biscuit to last me through the day and run around. So the next one
is a little bit harder to see, but
yeah, this is literally the best picture I can get. It's not a very noticeable one, but this is a young Beru. So this is from Attack of the Clones, when Anakin gets the news that his mum has been abducted by Tuskens. So young Beru serves this purple juice beverage. So I mean, she's got some sort of purple grape kind of blueberry type things next to it. So I think what she's done is probably like blended it up with some like blue milk or something, and then made this purple juice.
Yep.
So probably tastes quite good, I imagine. I'd have a purple juice. Is it like a little smoothie? I don't know. Next one, green milk. So
the infamous green milk.
I know. So Luke drank this green milk on Acto. It is milked from female Thala-Siren or Thala-Siren. There are those like massive creatures that just sit on the side of the mountain. Apparently it is salty but nutritious. And they're obviously seen in The Last Jedi. They're also seen in the High Republic. The High Republic novel Beware the Nameless.
Oh, okay.
And Lego Star Wars, I would say. But yeah, this green milk is not one that people particularly like, because obviously the blue milk was like the original.
I think it's more the scene. I think there's a lot of people that don't like.
I mean, this was the nicest picture I could get. Like, I could either get him with green milk covered all over his face, or getting with like the little contraption that he's milking the animal. But I was like, do you know what? This is
This'll
a
do.
better picture.
This will do.
I'd rather look at that. So carrying on with Acto, we have what Luke ate on Acto. Now, there's not really any information on these fish. I think there's many fish that swim around this Acto island. But you know, what else do you eat when you're surrounded by seawater?
Fish and chips.
Why are you gonna get your potatoes? I guess you
I haven't worked that one out yet, but he's got the fish, so he just needs a bit of chips, bit of vinegar.
Yeah, a bit of oil, like, yeah. As you can tell, it's probably a bit scarce for food there. So he has a massive sort of fishing rod and he dangles it on the edge of the cliff and then pulls up these massive fish. So Luke eats these, but so do all the animals like the porgs and stuff on the island as well. So he had that for dinner.
Very cool.
This next one is from Rogue One. So this isn't the only thing that you see, but this is the only picture I could find. So in the city of Jeddah, there is a busy street market and they sell lots of bizarre, still moving food. So it's like, do you know when you see those really like horrible videos? I know this is like some people's culture and stuff, but they'll have like a snake or a squid or something and they'll like cut the legs off it and then they'll fry it, but it's like still moving and it freaks me out.
I don't blame you.
So this is basically what they do in Jeddah. So it's like street food, and they sell lots of like squids and like weird, bizarre foods. So the scene that this is from is where Jin and Cassian are walking through the city, and we just see various like pans of people cooking food. So yeah, that's that one. So this one is from The Last Jedi. So I don't know if you guys remember, there's a place called Canto Bites, and this is where the races are. Remind me of what the animal was. Faviers. I really love those animals, and that name, for the life of me, will not stick in my head.
So, the horse-like creatures.
Yes, they're like really fluffy, massive creatures, and they race like a racehorse sort of thing. And in Star Wars Apples, you can bet on them.
Yep.
So this is from that scene. But we can see that various people are enjoying a sort of martini kind of beverage. So I thought I'd add those on here. I don't really know what the ingredients entail or anything, like whether it's like a sort of like fruity cocktail or like a beer, I don't know. But either way, it's like something that everyone's drinking to celebrate, you know, if they've won their bet or, you know, they're just there to have a nice time. So yeah, it's just seen during the Canto Bites races, many glasses of what seemed to be an alcoholic martini glass beverage.
Cool.
So yeah. So this next one, we're going back to the prequels. So this one, again, I don't know what they're eating. It's really annoying. You just see the sort of bowls there, and you see loads of people sort of queuing up to the canteen area. It's sort of like a school dinner line, like you know, when you're like going down the line and then they're like, all right, what do you want? You want some pasta? And you go, it's just like that. So during Anakin and Padme's trip to Naboo in Attack of the Clones, they sit in a cafeteria with a bowl of some kind of food, possibly soup or noodles or some kind of stew.
It must be the cafeteria on that public transport ship.
Yes, that's the one. But we never see inside the bowl. They're too busy chatting about Jedi are encouraged to love and all this. So yeah, we never actually see what they're eating, but I thought I'd mention it sort of as an honourable mention that they're eating something here. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Then we have, going back to the Phantom Menace, Mos Espa have market meat. So you see lots of like frog type creatures that are like hanging down, and Jar Jar Binks, being the mischievous person that he is, he ends up grabbing one, trying to sneak it, and then doesn't realise that it's still attached. It ends up going flying, and it goes into Sebulba's bowl. Again, he's eating something that I don't know what he's eating. Probably soup. So then, obviously, Anakin comes along and saves him from,
Getting a bit of a beating.
Yes, from Sebulba, the dangerous dud. Yes, so I thought to mention these. Again, it's that street food kind of weird little animals that people are selling, but it's Star Wars is all different species. Like some species might not be able to eat things like blue milk and like little cookies and cakes. They might only be able to eat reptile creatures, so we don't know. It might be for a certain species.
Well, you could have mentioned Garindan, because we did the breakdown. You said about Garindan species. They had like insects.
Yes, because he had like a big snout, so they can't like eat normal things.
So
yeah. So each species is different. Next one. So we have Luke's lunchbox. This one is quite a funny one. He sort of pulls it out, and then Yoda looks into it and he starts eating something, and it's like, hey, that's my food. But to be fair to him, he's got a lot of variety in here. He's got all the snacks.
This is more of a lunchbox than you would have had at school.
Yeah.
My lunchbox at school was sandwich, crisps, drink, maybe a chocky bar or a yogurt.
But also, he doesn't know how long he's going to be there. But also, it kind of looks like at the bottom there, he's got some Tic Tacs as well. So if you need a mint, then Luke's got it.
He's got the mints.
Or maybe they're like vitamins or
they
something.
Look like those pepperoni things.
And they look like little pretzels.
Bit of cheese.
Crackers. Yeah.
Mini sausages.
He's got
bit of crackling. Bloody hell.
He's got a right old buffet.
He's got his Mentos, a sausage, bit of butter. It's got it all.
Yeah. I mean, if you were going travelling, you'd want to get Luke there to be like the food person,
Yeah.
So I've just written in my notes. So in Empire Strikes Back, after he lands on Dagobah, Luke has a crunchy snack from a box of supplies. Yoda turns up minutes later, and we see the contents of Luke's lunchbox. There are some white lumps, some orange lumps, some yellow cubes, crackers, pretzels. No wonder why Yoda was tucking into it, because it looks great.
Speaking of, by the way, my lunchbox, that lunch that I would have had at school would have been in like a little Darth Vader lunchbox as well.
Yeah. I think also, though, this little box that he's got here, it kind of looks like a little toolbox that you put all your little like screws and these screwdrivers.
I think they've used an old like tool set thing.
Yeah.
And just like painted it and entered it and put like food bits in it.
Yeah.
He's even got like the little cordoned off
or
bits.
Even like a little like bead box.
Yes. When you can see they've still got the cordoned off bits for the sections to
I
keep
love
it
that
nice
though.
and neat.
Yeah, I think that's really
You
nice
almost
and
think he's got
organised.
like OCD. It's got to be, everything's got to be in the right little.
In the right little section.
Yeah.
If I find a pretzel with my crackers,
Oh,
oh
it's
no.
game over.
When the lid's not on. Very
Oh, God.
When you open it the wrong way, oh no.
No wonder you're so annoyed at you.
Yep. Alright, next one. So this is from Solo, A Star Wars Story. So we see Dryden Voss, is that his name?
Yeah.
Dryden Voss offer to Kira and Solo towards the end of the film, basically like a Star Wars caviar. So it's they're called Colo clawfish eggs. So that's what these like little tiny red balls are. It looks like there's a few different like types of eggs. Like the big yellow ones look kind of like what Grogu was eating from like the frog lady.
But they sort of look like just
And then
massive
there's like
yolks.
some green bits there. But
I think those are more like decorative bits.
so that's what that
So
is.
they are from this.
Yes. So this Colo clawfish. So this is from the Phantom Menace, where Obi-Wan and Anakin, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon
Getting confused.
encountered this, and when Qui-Gon says there's always a bigger fish. So these are what Dryden Voss was eating, the eggs of that. Which is wild.
And that monster was eating that as well.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's all food.
I wouldn't want to eat it myself personally.
Could be a bit of fish.
But yeah.
Cod.
There you go. And these are giant as well. So next one.
Just noticed the photo. He is really enjoying that. I'm about to enjoy that, but he's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted.
So this is Chewbacca enjoying the snack. So it's from The Last Jedi. Stop. It's from The Last Jedi. He sits by the Millennium Falcon, roasting pork over a fire. So he's got sort of like a little rotisserie going on for his dinner. Meanwhile, the other porgs look at it with sad, glassy eyes, making him feel bad.
I did feel bad when I saw that.
I know, and then he's sort of like, ah, like, go away, stop making me feel bad, and then he sort of
chucks it.
Eats it.
No, he chucks it because he can't be bothered to eat it.
Oh, well, he did eat one because he's eating it, but yeah. I mean, it looks just like a chicken.
I've seen people in Frankie and Benny's eating pizza and making that face. You know, when food is just so good and you're just like, oh, this is it.
It's sort of like the eye squint, like.
You know those memes as well where it's like your partner taking a photo of you at the wrong time. It's just like,
it's like that. It is. But to be honest, if the like other porgs were looking at me eating that for my dinner, I would feel so bad.
Go inside.
It makes me want to turn vegetarian. I'd be so bad.
I know you, and I know that ain't happening.
So the next one is Jabba's frogs. So
now we cut to me eating food out of the mouth.
No. So in Return of the Jedi, he's got a little sort of clear tank tub thing next to his throne, and it's got this little frog in there. So when Ula, who's the Twi'lek dancer, when she falls into the Rancor pit, Jabba snacks on a frog.
He's like, "Meow."
So this is what he's eating here. According to Star Wars Encyclopedia, these are Tatooine paddy frogs. So that's their technical term in the Star Wars universe.
I wonder if that's the sort that was like running away from that creature outside Jabba's palace as well, where he's like,
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Cool.
But I didn't actually look up much information about those because this is about food, it's not about the actual animal themselves. But
True.
I just thought I'd mention
Are
this
you
one.
snacking on it?
It's got a little frog there. And again, if his family was looking at me eating that, oh, no. I wouldn't eat a frog anyway.
That's France off the menu, then, isn't it? Sorry, French people who are listening and enjoy a bit of frog's legs, but
no, they look all like slimy, so I wouldn't eat them. I'll stick with my bread and pizza and pasta, and maybe a little ham sandwich. So Yoda stew, seen in Empire Strikes Back. In Yoda's hut on Dagobah, he cooks a root leaf native to Dagobah, and he makes a stew in a pot for him and Luke to eat. So this is what Luke is eating here, and his little sort of looks like a little coconut bowl. But yeah, so apparently this root leaf is very nutritious, and you can only find it on Dagobah. So he's cooked that and tried to make Luke feel better.
Luke didn't feel like he looked, or Luke didn't look like he enjoyed that.
So maybe it's not very good. Maybe it's like a Marmite food where you either love it or you hate it. Or maybe it's gross, but because it's nutritious and you're just like, yeah, do you know what? I'll eat that.
Yeah, right. I've got nothing else.
All right. So yeah, that's that one. So this next one.
This is very cool actually, because I know the story behind this one that you're gonna sell.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
Do you want to see?
No.
So this one is called polystarch portion bread. So it's found on Jakku, Navarro, and Lafette, but is well known for Rey cooking this in The Force Awakens. So she gets these ration packs that she can turn into a bread. So it basically rises when she adds water to it.
I think there's like a chewable thing as well that she can have. Like, so she has the bread and then the like chewy bit that she can just eat.
Yeah, I think there's like different ration packs you can get, but this is like a certain one. So yeah, she adds water to it and it rises and it looks like a nice little loaf of bread there. So this also wasn't so this is what Will was going to say. It wasn't a CGI effect. So this was created on the set of The Force Awakens. Like they found like a sort of powder. They added water to it and then made it rise like this and look like bread. I don't actually know what they used. Do you know what they used?
I can't remember what they used, but I remember reading, and I think it was either a video or something. But basically, they come up with this ingenious way that there was like basically like a vacuum, like underneath the bowl.
Okay.
Into like the bottom of the bowl, so it's like the bowl's basically on top of this vacuum, and then the way that it worked, it basically like sucked sort of like the moisture out of it or something, and it created this like bread bit. So again, I don't know how they exactly did it, but I just know that there was some sort of like vacuum and I think that's so clever how they did it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they did stuff like that at Galaxy's Edge? That'd be really cool. Watching like the bread, like just put a bit of water, bit of bread, like what?
What? It's a bit like Smash, you know, like the powder. And you add water to it, and it just turns into mashed potato, and you're like, how does this happen? That's what it makes me think of.
I hope that doesn't taste like Smash.
Oh, you don't like Smash? I love it. I love it.
No, I don't like Smash.
So basically, these ration packs that she had, they can be found on many planets. So they contain nutrients for when sources of food were scarce. So, you know, places that you can't really get food very easily, you know.
Jakku.
Yeah. Then you just have these ration packs and everyone gets one unless they have something valuable.
Mhm.
And they gotta live off that for a day. So
There you go.
there you go. This is a funny picture I found. I actually love this arc in the Clone Wars. So these are called ration bars, and basically used by the clone troopers, and like people, usually like Jedis and stuff that had to have something sort of quick. So these small tubes, known by various names, so they're either called ration bars, nutrient bars, supply bars, and protein bars. They were a type of food bar that came in many forms, textures, and flavors, with the common purpose of feeding beings quickly. So they're small, lightweight, easy to just put in your pocket or on your belt, and then, you know, do the mission. And if you need something quickly, then there you go. Again, in this Ryloth arc in the Clone Wars, she needed some food, so then I think it was Waxer gave her one of his nutrient bars, and she was like, "Oh, these guys are friendly." She was a bit scared at first. I absolutely love this arc.
It's a great arc. The Ryloth arc, so it's really good.
So good. I need to watch it. Again, also, if they encountered any like animals or anything, they could just feed them that and then just run. You know, distraction. So they could be a bar or a stick. They could be chewy or easily crumbled. They had various flavors, but wouldn't be very pleasing to eat. So they weren't like cooking a home cooked meal, or like they're not a substitute for like as tasty as that was, but it still would fill you up, you know, get you by, so you wouldn't faint on the floor. So something that could be easily taken on a mission because of its size. You didn't have to prepare it or cook it. They could be given to someone in need or eaten by yourself. They're seen in the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch, the High Republic, and many other novels and adaptations.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, really cool little bars there. So these next ones are energy capsules. They're a type of food members of the Jedi Order often consumed. They would be attached to their belts. So if you look at like Anakin's belt, they'll have these little like metallic lines
they look like
on
pen
it.
lids.
Yeah, but it's these. So these are small metallic little pellets that have enough energy to sustain a Jedi on long space journeys. And on the picture here, it says that Jedi are encouraged to sample local cuisine, as many cultures share food as a sign of a good fellowship. However, on some missions, it's simpler to get sustenance from concentrated capsules. So, you know, if you're struggling to get food, you need a bit of energy, here you go, it's on your belt.
Yep.
So, yeah, next one. So these are from The Mandalorian.
These look good.
They do. They look like little shortbread biscuits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could do with one of these right now.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get some shortbread biscuits. So travel biscuits, making him hungry. Travel biscuits with the Imperial logo. These were found in Imperial ration packs containing 2 biscuits. The packet has Herf, Esk, and Birch. No, Herf, Esk, and Besh. So those are 3 letters of the Aurebesh language, Aurebesh alphabet. And those 3 letters stood for high energy bar. So that's what that is. And
so basically, instead of a little protein bar thing, they've turned it into like a biscuit.
Yeah.
But a shortbread biscuit.
Seen in The Mandalorian. So that's that one. Apparently, they also had red ones as well, but I couldn't really find any information on the red ones.
Velvet one.
There you go. And this one is macaroons. So small circular teal cookies in a silver metallic sleeve can be found on Navarro. They are crunchy and sweet and are seen in The Mandalorian when Grogu steals them from another student in the school classroom. So
again, they could make these, couldn't they? They could just do like Oreos, but like in sort of enclosure.
But these are macaroons, so you've got
but
you've got to whisk up some egg whites and then colour it.
Yeah, macaroons are a bit weird.
I think they're really hard to make, but I'd try them because Grogu looked like he was enjoying them.
And then he was sick.
I know, but that was because of Mando's playing. I'm not gonna blame the little baby. He's cute.
He is cute, especially in that photo with his back.
No, he's so nice. Next one. This one is Mantel Mix. So you Bad Batch fans are gonna love how I've included this. So they're crunchy snack food found on the planet Ord Mantell. The mix came as small spheres with bumpy exteriors, which
looks like popcorn.
Yeah, basically Star Wars popcorn. There you go. The mix came with small spheres with bumpy exteriors, which were coloured white and various shades of purple. You know how much this stall in the Bad Batch sold them for? They sold them for 7 credits a carton.
7 credits?
Yeah. And then, obviously, if you've seen the Bad Batch, you know that they were like, oh, just put it on Sid's tab. And then she was like, you guys are costing me. And all this. But Omega and Wrecker in Bad Batch use them as a celebratory snack after each mission.
Well, so would I. They look...
I know.
Star Wars popcorn sounds quite good to me right now.
It's making me want some popcorn, to be honest. Maybe I shouldn't have done this episode because it's like.
Well, now I want to go get some biscuits.
I know. Want some shortbread now?
I want some biscuits.
And some blue milk and some fruit. I want some fruit.
I want some biscuits. Troopers of the week.
Yes.
Okay.
Get mine.
So I'll do mine first.
Yes.
So mine goes by the name Average Designed Wood. And here he is creating a Star Destroyer all out of wooden pieces. So clearly, you know, like you can see the shape of it already, but then he adds the detail into it. Like, look at that. That's so good. Like the detail in it is brilliant. And he adds like the little magnetic clamps underneath to give it the like hovering effect. So as you can see here, he puts the magnetic clamps in and then puts it above the wood, and as you will see, it hovers and floats, and it's all made out of wood, and it looks absolutely sick. Look, that's so cool. I want one.
They are so cool.
So yeah, that is Average Designed Wood. Fair play. I would love one of these little Star Destroyers.
Yeah, me too. So mine is someone on Instagram called lightning_cosplay. She has been making a little Nyx from Star Wars Outlaws. But it's like an animatronic, but she's
Wow.
She designed it all. She made little molds and then put like a silicone in there, painted it, airbrushed it, 3D printed stuff. It's so much detail into this.
That's a lot.
Just to make a little Nyx. I'll show you at the end as well. She's like the eyes blinking, and then she puts a little face on her. It looks so cute. I love it.
It does look very cool, and I would love to see a full.
I love that.
A
and
full
then
animated one.
she's kind of built like a little body for it, and looks a bit creepy though. But then she added fur to it, so she's done like a flock to look to his face, and those are his little feelers on his like ears, and he's so fluffy. Look at him. So she made like the little feet for him as well. So all he needs now is like his little scales on his back, like the darker bits.
Yeah.
And then
Very
he's all
cool.
done.
Very cool.
But I thought that deserved a shout out because she's definitely worked a lot on that, and was certainly very cool. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the like final.
Yes, I hope to as
Thing of
well.
it.
Maybe we'll show
So
that.
that is lightning_cosplay on Instagram.
Very cool.
Shout out to you.
Shall we do meme of the week to
Yes.
end the episode?
Yes.
I'm
sorry, I've been waffling on so long.
Not at all. So, got Anakin celebrating his win. It says the local boy using performance-enhanced space wizard powers to win the race. Me, who spent my family's life savings betting on Ben Quadranero, looking very disappointed.
So Ben Quadinaros is the one at the start.
Oh, there goes Ben Quadranero's power coupling.
He doesn't even get on the track.
Well, he doesn't
which
even
is why
move.
It's
He
so
just
memorable, yeah. So. Yeah.
All those people who better bet on Ben.
Yeah. And
He didn't even start.
Yeah, just got it.
I'd be fuming.
He'd be like, I want a refund. You can't even get on the track. Oh dear.
So yeah, good old Ben.
Yes.
But yeah, that's gonna be it from us today, guys.
We hope you enjoyed, and sorry if you got a bit bored and we were chatting about
Oh,
stuff.
I think it's been really interesting because it's something that we've never mentioned and spoken about before.
Yeah, I think it's something different, and something that we don't really think much about. It's just we watch Star Wars for the characters and stuff, but we kind of forget that they gotta eat and drink too. So.
Yes, and there's so much in that galaxy, that we haven't talked on.
Yeah, there's so much food on each individual planet. Like, we could do so many episodes just on food alone in Star Wars.
Well, so now that we've done that one, if there is any that you guys think we have missed that you'd like us to talk about, get in touch, let us know. Check us out on our socials below.
Mm-hmm. Or you can comment on this video.
As well, this weather outside is very Camino. It is pouring down out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you guys